So, I just finished the Ordeal run with the hashtag Hero Champions, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it, and basically how these videos work, because I do this style of video for every time we have a challenge quest, challenge objective, and stuff. I'm going to show you clips from every fight. You'll see a good bit of the fight. Sometimes it's just going to be the full fight sped up, sometimes it's going to be the full fight chopped up a bit, so you don't see everything. But we're going to go through that, explain how I'm taking this fight with this specific attacker, and then maybe talk some alternative options if I can think of any, but not all these fights I was able to think of some alternative options, and I just kind of went with my team. And of course they exist, I just didn't think about them previously. But we'll go ahead and start with Doom, which is one of the harder fights in the Ordeal, which I like that it's the first one, because you can always just redo this one, practice this fight a lot, and that helps a lot because it is one of the harder ones, so the fact that you can just redo the quest quite a bit early on until you get a good run against Doom is really solid. And Doom, you really want to use an XL character, because if you don't, then some of your attacks are going to glance. More of your attacks will glance the smaller your character is, so I would recommend never using a size small champion if you can help it, but you can read the node as far as what attacks get glance and stuff, but try to use an XL character. I know some people were using OG Hulk as well, that'd be really good, but Penny Parker does it very efficiently for me. And we'll go ahead and talk about Terrax next. Terrax is a annoying fight for sure, but if you have a Mystic who is really strong at doing damage in longer fights, like Kushala is, then you should be having a decent time. See, I placed those 9 degens with the special 3, and it also increases the duration of my blessings for the rest of the fight, I believe, as well, which we won't feel the need for that much because of the fact that he's going to start dying really fast. As you can see here, those incinerates are going pretty crazy, and I have the soul barb up now. We'll place even more incinerates. We got 25 passive incinerates, or 29 passive incinerates, and they're taking extremely hard. Terrax goes down. I think Paviter per Barker was another option I thought of for this one, and there are plenty out there, but you definitely want a pretty sustainable-ish Mystic, or else you might be using some revives. Now we're fighting Vision here. This one you kind of have to have a taunt character. I'm using Spider-Punk, because I'm using Spider-Punk for a lot of fights in this quest. I think he was like my most used attacker, along with like Dazzler in this quest, I mean. And Punk is very good because he has the taunt. He also has the Encore passives, which you place the Encore passives from your Sig ability after the opponent finishes a special. It makes them more likely to drop the special. It reduces the amount of attack rating that they have during the special, and once the special ends, they also have a very high chance of getting ruptured, which is just more damage. So he's just a character who makes them drop the same special often in a row, and he's very good at that. I skipped here to the part where we are in the ISO burst mode, because then our damage just goes really crazy. ISO burst is so strong, and Punk is the only ascended champion on my team in this quest, but the ISO burst was really noticeable when I was playing him. And yeah, we stay in it whenever we're striking visions and we're in the special animations, so you can get a really nice duration out of it and stuff too. And it was really solid. So their vision goes down in just over a minute and a half. Any taunt character would be really good there. I think Starkey has taunt, Spider-Ham has taunt, a lot of the Spider-Verse characters have taunt. And I believe if you use a Power Sting character like Spider-Woman, you can use the Relic to also place a taunt. So there's that too. Here we're fighting M.O.D.O.K. This one, I didn't really find a great option on my roster, but luckily you don't really need a great option because, quite frankly, this fight isn't that hard. It's just a M.O.D.O.K, and he's going to reduce the attack rating of your special attacks that aren't special 1. So my special 3, which I'm going to go for first, is going to do a lot less damage than it normally would, but it's not that bad. I'm using the special 3 because it increases the duration of all of Spider-Punk's ruptures by 25% for the rest of the fight, which is really strong. And yeah, M.O.D.O.K doesn't have the parry mastery like you would if you were fighting him in PvP modes, so hitting into his auto block, it's completely fine. And that means that if he can't parry you, there's very little threat left, especially if you can just dex the special 1s no problem. And yeah, there's nothing forcing you to push him to special 2, which is a lot harder to deal with. But yeah, Spider-Punk, it's just, we're going to bait his special ones, we're going to punish his special ones, we'll place the Ruptures, and I just want to keep those physical vulnerabilities up as often as I can. We're in the ISO Burst mode now, which is great. I dropped my special 2. It only has half the attack rating because of the fact that it's not a special 1. But we at least do a lot more damage because of ISO Burst, so it's not that bad. Here, we do eat the special 1, but he also reduces the attack rating of the special with his Encore passives, so barely does any damage to me even if I ate the full special attack. Now we're going to go fight Spider-Ham. I kind of hate this fight. You really want an evade counter for this. I have Prowler on the team, which could work, but I do think Dazzler is way better, which is who I'm going to use. Professor X is another really good call for this one, but it is just kind of a really sucky fight. Like, Spider-Ham's special 2 is almost always unblockable in here, or if not always. It might have a node that makes it always unblockable. I don't even remember now. But we're going to use Dazzler's Pursuit to shut off his evade pretty well here. And like, yeah, once he gets to special 2, I'm just kind of eating it because I don't know the decks. I think it's possible, but I don't know it. But yeah, Prof X would be good here. Prowler would probably be good here. And Dazzler, it's just try to get the Pursuit up as often as you can. It helps if you are going to the special 3 first, not only because you're going to see the damage on your special 2 after your special 3 is going to be insane, but also it increases the tempo gain by double for 40 to 60 seconds, depending on what you score on the special 3 minigame. And you can just use that to get the Pursuit more often than normal. And here is probably my favorite moment of the entire quest, when we just completely destroy that Spider-Ham. And he goes down, just absolutely wiped out. So, I'm glad that fight went down fast, because that's one of my least favorite fights in the entire quest. Now we're going to go fight Weapon X. Literally any tech champ who is reasonably good at fighting Weapon X will do. This guy has essentially no nodes. It's kind of just a 1.5 million health Weapon X. And there are very few tech champs who are bad for Weapon X. I wouldn't say Prowler is great for him, but Prowler absolutely works perfectly fine. I could have used Penny too. And in hindsight, I think Penny might have been the better call, but Prowler did this fight very well. I'm going to go for the special 3 rotation with Prowler, which I don't necessarily think is like the way to go. I think it was decent here, but I'm not sure if that was better than just dropping special 2s. What it does is it puts your suit in overdrive, and you can basically double the amount of Furies you get, because your next special 1 will not consume your power creep charges, and then I can go for a 60 Fury special 2 right here, which of course is going to do a lot more damage than the 30 Fury special 2, but considering you're using a lot more bars of power just to get that 30 Fury special 2, I don't know if it's worth it in the long run. So either way, we're going to go ahead and keep playing aggressive with him. I wanted him to drop a special there, and I could maybe squeeze another special 2 out before my 60 Furies expire, but it didn't happen. It's not like it really matters that much. Here he's in his Berserk mode again, and I try to get a Snap Light, which you can do very well with Prowler because Light Reach is kind of insane, but I did not get it there. It's not that big a deal, but I'm just going to clip to the end of the fight now. This was one of the only mistakes I made, was I did try to punish his heavy too early, and then I did get caught, but it's not that bad. And that's the 6th fight, so we are only at 14, I guess 15 if you count the boss left. We only have 15 fights left. From here, the fights I do think are a little bit easier, because I do think the first 5 are the hardest. Weapon X is not that hard, honestly, compared to some of the other fights. So yeah, now we are in a pretty nice spot here against Thing. It's just kind of a big thing. Like, the only annoying thing about this Thing is that he's going to alternate between a mode where he's extremely aggressive and extremely passive. And the extremely passive node is really annoying because he barely does anything, and you just kind of have to wait it out unless he just randomly drops a special in the passive mode, which he will sometimes. It helps if you have the Encore passives and the taunt up too. But yeah, the defensive stance he has is really frustrating, but it's just about managing his rock stacks. Like, I don't remember when this quest came out. It was probably 2021, 2022. But I feel like some of the big defenders at the time, i.e. Weapon X and Thing, they just kind of slapped like meaningless nodes on them because they were already some of the harder defenders in general back in the day. And yeah, so Thing goes down there. This one is actually one of the harder fights in the quest, if not the hardest. Dazzler makes really good work of this fight because we use the pursuits to just get rid of all the evade threats like we would against Spider-Ham, like we will later in the quest too. Actually, I might use Prowler for the other evade fights, but there are other evade fights which you will need an evade counter for, and Dazzler fits that role very well. You really want your Dazzler as high a SIG as possible because the SIG scaling increases the pursuit duration, which is going to be very important to having high uptime on it. But yeah, this Korg, it's a simplish fight if you can get an evade counter, but it's still very annoying. He has a lot of block penetration. He has a node where you just have to use a heavy attack every now and again to actually deal damage to him, because he's going to build up protection essentially if you don't. So there I dropped my special 2. We needed 4 special 1, special 2 cycles to get him down. This might have been a decent matchup for a special 3 rotation. I didn't end up going with that, but it wouldn't have been bad, I guess. There, I made a bad call going for an evade into a heavy, a falter into a heavy, which you can't do if the opponent has a bar power. They will drop the special, and the falter is too short to save you, so I will be taking bleed damage here, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We just need to keep hitting him, get up to 2 bars of power, heavy attack, and then special 2 will kill him. We do take a decent bit of bleed damage along the way, but those bleeds honestly didn't hit as hard as I expected them to, so it could have been a lot worse. Now we're going to go fight Dragon Man, and this one I'm going to be taking with Spider-Punk, and it's a big power gain fight, but because of the fact that Punk has Taunt, he has Encore, he's just going to make Dragon Man drop his special attack almost as soon as he gets to it, and that makes the fight relatively simple. It has Aspect of Evolution, so he's going to get more attack rating, crit damage, block pen, all that stuff as he crosses bars of power. But the fact that Spider-Punk is reducing his attack rating during the special attack by so much is going to make it to where I barely take any damage just on blocking it, which is really helpful. Here was like the only moment where the taunt and the encore was failing me, because like he just wasted so much time just dashing back, and he did go to 2 bars because of it, which is very annoying because I want him spamming those special 1s, and we're going to get him back spamming those special 1s now, but that special 2 he dropped in my block was pretty frustrating. We can just block, get the ineptitude, and have a bunch of willpower, which is fantastic. And we're about to get into the Icer Burst mode again, so next special 2 basically finishes him off. And then we move on to the next fight, which is Black Panther. Now, originally my team had Danny Moonstar on the team, which was going to be really good for this fight because of the passive slow she places. I ended up switching Danny for Prowler, which I do think was the better call because I can use Prowler for a lot more fights. So I had to use this fight with I had to do this fight with Dazzler, which was pretty good. I used my first special 2 cycle and it did not do nearly as much damage as I wanted. So I decided to go for the special 3 cycle instead. And I feel like every time I just noticed that my special 2 cycle, like special 1, special 2 cycle, doesn't do very well. My special 3 cycle is so good that I'm like, oh, I should have just done that the whole time. And that's just gonna happen here. I do get cornered, and honestly, I took a lot of hits here, and lucky that I lived. But yeah, this was definitely scary. Now I'm just trying to get distance on him, so I'm gonna block a little bit, then dash in. He's faltered, and then I'll go ahead and do a relic. And now we've got him almost to his corner already, so yeah, you made up a lot of that distance, which is really nice. And I have almost my max tempo now. We have the energy vulnerability. I need to make sure I drop the special 2 while the energy vulnerability is still there. And then we'll go ahead and drop it right here. I think we'll go for 3 more hits to max the tempo. And then I go for it. We get 2 crits, and then the final hit's a guaranteed crit. And the final hit does so much damage on its own. So yeah, really nice there. We'll go fight Nightcrawler next, and this is my first death of the run, actually, because Nightcrawler, I tried so hard to get him to switch phases, and sometimes I'd mess up when that would happen. I didn't really need to get him to switch phases, because Prowler counters evade pretty well. Like, his mediums can't be evaded, his special one gives him a 30-second pursuit. I still wanted to try to get him to switch, so I wouldn't have to use special ones, because I want to use only special 2s in this fight if I can, and I just never could get him to switch phases. I mean, there's probably a better way to do it, but it was not working out. So unfortunately, I just have to deal with the only mediums and getting the special one pursuit, and then eventually I'm just gonna die. I don't remember why, but we'll see together. And yeah, sped this fight up. It's literally just any good evade counter is gonna destroy him. Like, I have Dazzler on the team as well, which would be good for this fight. Danny Moonstar, I mentioned earlier, would be good for this fight. Profx would be good. And yeah, you just need to counter evade, and then you're in good shape. There, I got hit by a special one and died, but we revive and kill him. Not that big an issue. We'll go fight the next evader now, and this means we only have 10 fights left. So Spider-Gwen is going to start that. We'll go ahead and actually use Prowler here. I thought about using Dazzler, and I kind of wish I used Dazzler, because I do think a special 3 rotation would have just been better than using Prowler for this. Prowler, in theory, has better pursuit uptime than Dazzler does if I can't play aggressive, but I think it would have been fine playing aggressive enough with Dazzler to not have to worry about that. So I do think in hindsight Dazzler would be way better for this fight than Prowler would, but it's just like Nightcrawler. Like, if you use pretty much any evade counter, you'll be okay. A lot of these fights in this quest centered around having the evade RPG control, which was kind of weird how many of them did. Simpler times, you know. But the only other thing you need to worry about here is it has Window of Opportunity stun, which means you're going to get a stun reflect if you try to parry or stun at all when that red shield is up. And it also has 1A open, so any damage she takes while she's stunned will be reflected at you. So even if that stun reflect node is on cooldown, I still wouldn't recommend parrying or stunning, because it's still going to reflect damage if you make her take any damage at all during that stun phase, which will include red numbers as well. So yeah, don't deal with that. Just never parry her, and then you'll be fine. This fight, Domino, it's one of the easier ones, one of the simpler ones, because Power Shield is kind of cracked. Most tech champions will have no issue with this, very similar to Weapon X. And Penny with Power Shield is kind of just on crack, so yeah, I think Prowler's a better Prowler is a better Domino counter, but Penny is better with the Power Shield node, because she is a character who's not designed to increase her attack rating in her own kit. Prowler is, so he feels the benefits from Power Shield a lot less, because he's designed with attack increase already in mind, so it exponentially falls off. And Penny, because she's not designed that way, feels the benefits of Power Shield a crazy amount. And yeah, that was a 1-minute fight, even with some of the burst damage failing on my special 2s, even with having less spider sense charges than normal, because she failed some of them. Here, we're going to go fight Mojo with Punk. This fight is a little bit rough, because you will be taking degen at times. However, you can reduce the damage that you take in a couple different ways. One, if you place the taunt on them, that's just a flat attack decrease. The Inequity Mastery, which Punk can utilize very well, also is going to help here. And then thirdly, if you trigger the degen, or specifically Mojo triggers the degen, while he's in a special 1 animation, he's going to suffer the attack rating reduction from Encore. That also goes with special 2 animations if you stacked up special 2 Encore, but normally you're not going to be doing that. So yeah, like, I'm going to get him spamming special 1s again, and I think later I trigger a degen that is going to basically do nothing, because it triggered during his special 1 animation, and his attack rating is reduced so much during that time. So yeah, like the taunts, the Inequity, the Encore passives, they just can reduce the degen damage you take by a crazy amount. As you can see, I definitely lost some health before that happened, but yeah, we're in a really good spot here, and he's just going to start ticking down. Even with the physical resist passive that he has, we're cutting into a lot of that because of the physical vulnerabilities we place. And yeah, that was a pretty simple fight with Punk. Now we're going to go fight I-Bomb with Penny. This fight, you basically just need to use a poison immune. Don't use a champion who is going to fail I-Bomb's poisons with ability accuracy reduction. That's not going to be good. You want to have immunity, ideally. Maybe there are some other ability accuracy reduction champs that work. Potency reduction also is good here, but the problem with potency reduction is you still can get acid burned if you push I-Bomb to special 2. I think Heimdall was a call that I saw a lot of people doing for this, and a lot of people using Heimdall for the quests in general, because I don't entirely know a lot about Heimdall's kit. I know he interacts with poison somehow, and it was a very good fight for those people who used Heimdall, so if you got him from the Titan yesterday and want to find a nice place to use him, that would be a good spot for it. But yeah, we're just going to slowly but surely get I-Bomb down. I forgot to reboost in this fight because I took a break in between Mojo and I-Bomb because I had classes to do. And then when I got off of the classes, I forgot to reboost for I-Bomb, and then I'll go ahead and notice it for APOC and get boost back up. So this fight did take a little while, but it's a poison immune versus I-Bomb. The nodes aren't really that threatening at that point. He's going to get a lot of attack rating. He's going to hit very hard into your block, but at least in some scenarios, Penny doesn't take block damage, which is really nice. So yeah, here I'm getting my boost back on. We're fighting APOC now. APOC is a little bit annoying in this quest because of the fact that he has a node where he's going to treat all hero champions like mutants, meaning he's going to start with 4 genetic code. And because of the fact that you have to take heroes for this quest, he's always going to have that 4 genetic code. However, I'm using Punk here. Punk is very good for this fight because of the attack reduction that he's going to have. Because, yeah, you're going to be blocking APOC specials a lot unless you're very confident in the decks, which I know some people are. I'm not. So I'm blocking them a lot. And we're just reducing his attack rating by so much, again, in Equity and Encore passives. And we can go ahead and just intercept a good bit to get physical vulnerabilities, because I can't rely on my evade too much. He will slowly start to fail the ability accuracy of it, and that would be pretty bad. He's also stun immune too when striking, which will include when you try to counterattack him, so you're never going to be able to place a stun on him in this fight, which is very annoying, but it's not that bad. And we're just going to intercept a good bit to place those physical vulnerabilities, because I can't refresh them, I just can replace them. So I'll go ahead and drop a special 2 here. I waited for ISO Burst to start, and now our Ruptures are going to be doing crazy damage. Our Basics will be doing crazy damage too, and APOC goes down right there. We only have 5 fights left. I immediately skip into the middle of the Sasquatch fight. I forgot to show the nodes, but this one has Life Cycle, and Life Cycle means you're never going to be doing damage from damage over time. So you need a champion who doesn't rely on that. Dazzler was the only champion on my team who doesn't rely on that, and she does this fight very well, because she has many reasons that she counters this fight. Because 1, you're Power Snack immune because she's Nullify immune. 2, she doesn't rely on DOT, of course, so you don't need to worry about the life cycle as much. And basically, life cycle is annoying because it also has a thing where if you try to kill them with that purple shield up, they're going to regen 10%. You need to get the purple shield on cooldown by knocking them down. And then after you keep knocking them down, it increases the duration of the shield's cooldown up to a max of 3.5 seconds. What you want to do is try to use a heavy to knock them down and then immediately try to kill them, which Dazzler can do because I go for a heavy into an unblockable special 2. As you can see there, 2 special 3 rotations brings Sasquatch down, and we can move on to the 3rd to last path fight, 4th to last challenge fight. This is against Killmonger, and this one I'm using Prowler for. Prowler's pretty good for this. You could also use Jean Grey. You could also use, I don't know, some other mutants who are decent Killmonger counters and have some access to damage over time. But Prowler was very good for this. We get the Incinerate up from the heavy attack, and that's going to be a polka dot power fuel. And Prowler has a lot of non-contact attacks. The only hits that really are contact are your lights and the first hit of your special 2, and maybe the first hit of your heavy as well. The rest, your mediums, the rest of your heavy, the special 1 I know is non-contact. Actually, I think the entirety of the special 2, except the first hit, is contact. So I think I said that wrong earlier, but Either way, you don't need to worry about reverb that much. Here I die because he does walk up light attack me, and then I go for a stupid light punish at the end of the combo, and he counter punches me. So that's unfortunate. So that's my second death of the run, but it's fine because we're gonna continue to die once we start fighting Nameless Thanos in a bit. So we gotta get used to it, I guess. Anyway, here I drop my special 2. It's gonna do enough damage to kill him. I had the reverb on cooldown, so don't need to worry about any of that. And we move on to the second to last path fight, which is Void. This one, I just need a champion who is known for big special attack damage. I wish that could have been Penny, but unfortunately Void is Incinerate immune, so I cannot Penny Parker him, because literally everything that Penny does revolves around Incinerate damage. Even the red burst on the special 2 is instant Incinerate. So we can't do that, and here I just need to do this with Dazzler, try to manage these debuffs on me as well as I can, and we're going to go for 2 Special 1, Special 2 rotations. Dazzler is a champion who's designed around increasing her own attack rating, so she doesn't feel power shield as much as some other characters would, but it's still going to be very solid, obviously. Only using 6 bars of power is very good, and actually, yeah, that's first Special 2 did more damage than I expected. So we are going to need to go ahead and do another Special 1, though, because I do need to place that energy vulnerability, and I do need to get a lot of tempo. Can't just skip back to another Special 2. It will not kill him. So I go ahead and drop my Special 1 here. Try to keep the weakness off of me as much as I can. It's not necessarily that easy, because I do need to obviously hit Void a lot to keep the other debuffs off of me. But I can go ahead and throw a heavy attack here, drop my Special 2, even with some weakness. It does enough to kill him, of course. And then we're going to go fight Nick Fury. Nick Fury is a relatively simple fight. We could have used Kushala, we could have used Dazzler. I'm using Penny, because Penny cheeses Nick Fury's second life, and she's also just made for this fight, essentially. Nick has kinetic transference, which is a node where they are going to gain power when they hit your block, but Penny power locks people when they hit her block. So she just shuts off the node as long as she has her Sync Shield active. If you don't have the Sync Shield, you don't have that utility piece, but you have the Sync Shield a good bit in this fight. It helps if I don't eat unblockable Special 1s and get a Disorient on me, which will be reducing my block proficiency, but yeah, you just do the regular Penny rotation where you just do a bunch of Special 1s to ramp charges and then go for a Special 2. And then it's gonna be pretty fun. We're gonna go for our first Special 2 in just a moment, very intentionally after the relic, because I want to place the Incinerate vulnerability from my Sentinel relic, and then I'll go for the Special 2, plenty of damage, place those very strong ticking Incinerates after the attack, and then we just need to do one more of those cycles. As you can see here, I skipped to it, and then she's going to place that heal block once he transfers into second life, do some instant Incinerate damage, and Nick goes down. So the only fight remaining is against Thanos, the most BS fight in the game. Probably not, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. I don't think that's the most BS fight, but it's top 5. Anyway, I hate this fight. The third phase absolutely sucks. You want to intercept him, and he has some of the worst intercept AI in the entire game. He will not let you intercept him, I swear, when you're in that third phase, when you literally have to stay alive, which is really BS, but whatever. This quest was designed like 6 years ago, man. I think less than that, but you get the idea. We're bleed immune, so I can hit in this second phase. I don't want to hit in the auto block, though. That's bad. But yeah, it goes relatively smoothly. I'm going to die with Kushala right when the third phase starts due to something incredibly stupid. You'll see that once it happens. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and block the Special 1s. We get a lot of regen and stuff from the blue blessings. And I didn't expect him to be able to auto-block the special attacks, but yeah, he can auto-block the special attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and do another Special 1, and there we get our Incinerates going. They do really nice amount of damage, which is great. Heavy attack. I could have gone for another heavy attack by getting Incinerate instead. And then here, I don't have a lot of blessings right now, but we're going to try to build up some more. We're in the second phase now, so he is going to place a degen on me, and then when the degen expires, I get all my health back, which is nice. He can't evade in the specials, which is very good, because it turns out he can auto-block but not evade. That kind of makes sense, I guess, but yeah, I wasn't sure at that point. So I drop a special 1 here. We get all the nullifiers. I didn't even have all the unique blessings, so a little bit lucky, but we can go ahead and just block because I have regen spells, and also I'm just going to heal a crap ton back after the special ends anyway. And yeah, we're doing so much DOT. He's going to go into the 3rd phase now. This was really stupid though. He's going to do his special 2, and after his special 2, I'm expecting him to start his 3rd phase, which technically he did, but he still is carrying over the evade. And I didn't think that evade would carry over. I thought it would just be gone after the 3rd phase started. So he evaded when I was not expecting him to have the evade charge at all. And I died from it, which is unfortunate because that could have been a really cool solo. So now I have to just spend a bunch of revives on this guy because his 3rd phase is so garbage. I'm going to drop a special 2 with Penny here, and then we're just going to die once he drops a special 3. It's just such a BS fight design, but whatever. I'm trying to squeeze as much incinerate damage out as I can by dropping the special 1. And then he's at 11% now. We're going back in with Dazzler. I'm dying to this fight a lot. We also are playing in cinematic mode apparently. And then I block. Forget that block instantly kills me. And then I think I do it a 2nd time actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to push him to special 3. I have the safeguard, which is nice. But I'm going to block again after the special 3 because I didn't learn my lesson the first time. And then instantly die, which is fun. But anyway, now we're going in with Punk, and then we're going to die in a new way, which is where we get light intercepted. Super cool. And then with Prowler here, I think, do I kill him on this run, actually? I think I do get the kill, actually, on this one, which is nice. Yeah, I get an intercept here, drop a special 2, don't have any Furies, don't need any. The Ruptures are going to do enough damage to finish him off. And that's how I did the Ordeal quest with only #hero champions. So claim the rewards, saving the Titan Nexus. I don't need any of the champs in the Titan, but we will open the StatCast, and I got my most wanted relic in the StatCast pool, which is the Prowler relic. And not only did I get the Prowler relic for the first time, I got the best copy of the Prowler relic too, the one with crit rate, which it's going on my Maker. Maker doesn't care about crit rate, so I guess it's not the best for him. But it's still the best Prowler relic in general, regardless. So, absolutely thrilled that I finally have that 7-star Prowler relic, because it took me forever to get it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing the video. Hopefully this video helps you with your runs as well, and I'll see you in the next one.